The Tao of Self-Confidence, Episode 871. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. Visit our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits. Well, hello, friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap Chan, and today I am so excited to have this lady on today. She is the CEO of Mirror Path, and she's just a phenomenal woman. And so I'm really excited to introduce her to you. Her name is Doris Lee. Yay. Doris, how are you today? Maybe you can fill in a little bit more about yourself to the listeners.
Hi, Sheena. Thank you. I'm so excited to be on your podcast. Thank you for inviting me. My name is Doris Lee. I'm the CEO of Mirror Path. We've been in business for 20 years and the data center digital infrastructure space. I'm also the co-chair of US Pac Wise, which is a women empowering women program that I'm very excited to participate in. And that's how I met Sheena.
Thank you so much. And I'm so great that we got to connect. I'm also part of the program and to just meet so many amazing women, especially AAPI women, because I believe working together, collaborating is how we move forward. So thank you so much for the invitation. And Doris, what's your cultural background?
So I was born in Thailand. I moved to Singapore when I was 3. I moved to Iran when I was 7. And at the age of 14, I moved to Brazil. But since I was 10 years old, my dream was to pursue the American dream, and I wanted to be in the United States. So I studied engineering, and that's how I got my opportunity to immigrate to the United States when I was 23. So I'm very blessed to be in the United States today. It is everything that I thought it was going to be and more.
I love it. Thanks for sharing that. And Doris, what'd be your favorite self-confidence quote?
I think I'm very lucky. So my quote is, luck is preparation meeting opportunities. And my second quote probably doesn't exist out there is this Nike tagline, just do it. But my quote is, don't wait to be perfect, just do it.
I love that. And especially in Asian culture, we always have to show up as the perfect wife, the perfect daughter, the perfect sister, and perfection really stops us from moving forward. And I had to learn that the hard way. I realized, yes, I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to fumble, but I get stuff done, right? We can always course correct and move forward. And I love that because, perfection really stops us, right? We feel like we have to know everything before we start, while men, they just know about 10% of the way and they'll just go ahead and do it. And if women did that, imagine how much we can accomplish. So I really love that quote that you mentioned. And in your own words, how do you define self-confidence?
Oh gosh, that's an interesting question because Sheena, I actually was not very self-confident before. I was running a multi-million-dollar company, and seriously, I was self-doubting myself all the time. I only became more self-confident when I actually surrounded myself with people that actually believed in me and changed my self-talk inside my head. So every time I did something that doesn't work, I would think about how many other people have been doing what I have done. And then I actually talked to a few of my friends, and that really helped develop my self-confidence through the years. I think what helped, which is very crazy, someone told me that I have to get up in the morning and said, I'm beautiful, I'm smart. At first, when I first heard that, I thought that was the most outrageous thing. But I do that, actually. I said, I get up in the morning and I said, I did really well. And every time that I fumble, I always get up and go on for another day and persevere. And that helps me build my self-confidence.
I love that. And it's so important. How we talk to ourselves is very important. Having negative self-talk, of course, stops us from moving forward. We become our own worst enemy versus being our own best friend. I do the same thing. I was my own worst enemy. I would always put myself down. I would always call myself a loser, a failure, not realizing that was hurting me. That was hurting my chances. I was delaying my own success. And so every time I have my moments of doubt, I actually say 3 mantras, just 3 mantras to myself, which is I am loved, I am enough, and I am worthy. And yes, when we do these mantras, it's really weird saying it in front of the mirror because we've never done this before and we've never complimented ourselves before. But with practice, it gets easier. And you would never tell your best friend she's a loser. So why would you tell yourself that? And so it's really important to have that positive self talk as much as we can so that it helps us to move forward, take the inspired action, and be the person that we're meant to be. So I love that you mentioned that. And Doris, what was your life like before your discovery of self confidence?
I think that I didn't enjoy life as much because I was always thinking about the destination. I think I was always in pursuit of a destination. And I found out that, when you get there, now there's another destination that you have to reach. And it's just kind of hard. And during the process, you're telling yourself how bad you need to improve, how poorly you execute. Instead, I think today what I do is one of my mantra is really enjoy life. Is every day, what did I do that makes me enjoy every single moment? Of course, you can enjoy every single moment, but if you actually end your day and look at what happened in your day and you think that you did well and you're happy, you enjoyed what you did, I think that makes it really helpful. And if you can pass this thought process to other people that's going through the same thing, and I often come across people, I like conversation one-on-one with people because that's when people become vulnerable, and then you can share your journey with them and tell them that you have gone through it. Of course, when I tell people that I've gone through it, no one believes me because they've never met me 10 years ago. So.
I love that. And it's so true. I mean, especially in our culture, we're always chasing after something, right? It's like get good grades, go to the best schools, marry that person, have kids, have the perfect house. It's just there's never ending. It's like you have one kid and they're like, when's the next one? And you're like, you just popped one out. What do you like? There's always something that we feel like we have to chase to give worth to ourselves, not realizing, we are worthy just, in this present moment. And be thankful and be grateful and be happy. And I know it's easier said than done because I still do that too. It's like, I just want to get to that next level and I'm going to be happy, right? And then when you get there, you're depressed because it's like, now what do I do? Not realizing that being happy is in that present moment, regardless of the circumstances.
Yeah, I think it's balancing up because I think it's, we can change the way we're programmed to think about our future, right? Save money for the future, make sure that you have retirement. We're always going to have that. But I think it's the ability to balance that and then enjoying the present time. I think that is very, very important. And I have to say, once I started telling myself that, life becomes so much more fun. It's so much more fun.
Of course, part of the reasons why we forge our own path is because we want that quality of life that we yearn for, right? I mean, if you're working 24 hours a day nonstop, I mean, what's the point in doing that, right? I'm not saying, and of course, there's going to be moments where you have to, right? In your life, that's temporary. Of course, we understand that, but in the end, you just want a better quality of life, and that's why you're an entrepreneur, you have your own business because you're living life on your own terms. And I was just curious, what was that aha moment that gave you the push to start your own company, to run this multi-million-dollar company? I mean, I'm always fascinated when I hear, Asian women running these multi-million-dollar companies because we don't hear enough of them, right? And we want to hear these stories. We want to showcase these powerful women like yourself. So what was that aha moment that gave you the push to do it?
Well, Sheena, I think I'm what they call an accidental entrepreneur. I actually didn't have that much of an aha moment. My son was 6, and I actually wanted to volunteer for school, his kindergarten school. He's going to preschool, going to kindergarten. And I was having a lot of difficulty convincing my boss at the time to allow me to go and do that. And I was like, I'm the top salesperson here. Well, why don't I just start a company? Of course, I did not know to start a company, you actually need to know more than sales. So today, actually, anyone that actually wants to start a business, I give them this book called E-Myth and Entrepreneur Myth, because I really want them to be aware. But it's a really good thing that I wasn't aware because I may not have started the business. And that was actually the beginning. I think the continuation actually is even harder because a lot of businesses fail in the first 5 years of business. I actually didn't even know that statistic. So when we were growing double digit, triple digit, I thought everyone did that. And it was my head down just doing it. And if I didn't do double digit, I was actually really upset with myself. And it's only when you have more awareness and when you actually look, and as an entrepreneur, you usually don't have that much time. I remember in the 7th year of business, I was literally just sleeping 3 hours because I just didn't have enough time to expand the business and to scale the business the way that I thought it can be expanded, because I didn't know how. So I think surrounding myself with people that taught me what I need to do to continue to scale was very important.
I love that. And thanks for sharing that. I mean, there's going to be times where it's hard, right? And we don't know what the next step is. And sometimes we feel like we have to do everything ourselves, but not realizing like you can go out there and seek help, which is not typical in our culture, of course, because asking for help is seen as a weakness or a handout. But when we go out there and seek the help and ask for help, find that it becomes a lot better and we can do things the way we want to and live life in our terms. And because of that, what's your life been like now?
My kids still think I'm a workaholic, but I do think that America, it's pretty stable compared to a lot of the countries I grew up. Starting a business is really important. It's really easy, and then there's so much help, especially as women. There is so much organization helping women succeed. One of the things I actually talk to people about is, I'm Chinese. And I was born in an era that people gave girls away at birth. Can you imagine growing up thinking that you're disposable? I think while I was starting the company and when I found the diversity, inclusion people, Women's Presidents Organization, Harvard, all of them actually having a section that wants to help women out. That doesn't exist in a lot of countries. So I think that changed my perspective. I love being a woman now because I do think that, there's some advantages of being a woman, and, and surrounding yourself with women helps you be stronger.
I love that. And I love that you have that support that you can help, because it's so important in our journey, right? Like, I think we have to remind ourselves, like, we don't have to do everything ourselves. We're not the superwoman. If you look at men, they're constantly collaborating. They're always looking for resources to help them out so that they can do the best they can to build a business, to forge your own path. And when women can learn that too and practice it more, just imagine what we can accomplish, right? There's so many reports saying when we have more women on board, the companies make more money, the companies do better. And there's like statistics on that for sure. And so I love that, you surround yourself with like-minded women who have, the best interest for each other, and that you're, doing these programs to help other women do the same thing. So I love that. And if our listeners were tuning into your episode and they were in a similar journey to self-confidence, what would be that one tip you would give to her?
I think I already said it. Surround yourself with people that want you to succeed. It doesn't need to be women. It has to be people that wants you to succeed and that wants to listen to your dream and help you succeed in your dream, because there is a lot of naysayers that will not believe in your dream. Surround yourself with people that wants to sit down to listen to your dream, give you context to help you proceed and be successful, not just listening. And just listening is already good, but I think active support is even more powerful. Why can't you do this? Let me introduce you to this person. I think you need help here. And I think that is very important. And it actually can come from both women and men.
I love that tip. And it's so true. Regardless if it's a woman or a man, we can get that support. There's been so amazing, supportive men out there who cheer you on, who want the best for you, who wish you all the success in the world. So we'll shout out to all the men who do that. And so I'm really glad that you mentioned it. And if our listeners wanted to get to know a little bit more about you and what you do, is there any links or social media profiles we can connect with?
If you go to LinkedIn under Doris Lee Ye, you can find me. I'm not that active in social media yet. Too busy running the company, but you can send email, a LinkedIn message, and we can connect. Oh, I'm also part of US PAC WISE, which is the Women Empowering Women program. That is also another place that you can find me.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And to our listeners, if you want to connect with Doris, you can head on over to the taoofselfconfidence.com and search for Doris's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else that we talked about. And I just really want to thank Doris today for taking the time to share her story and tips with us on self-confidence. So thank you so much, Doris.
Thank you, Sheena, for inviting me to speak and share my story.
It was such an honor having you on the show today. And to our listeners, be on the lookout for another new episode of another amazing woman's journey to self-confidence, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. You can now purchase The Tao of Self-Confidence, a guide to moving beyond trauma and awakening the leader within on Amazon, Barnes & Noble's, Walmart, Indigo, and other major book retailers. Get your copy today.